think all young men aspire to something great. I think there's always this looking something beyond what we can truly achieve in our life. And so guys are realizing that a lot of things that the world's trying to offer doesn't truly satisfy. And so they're looking for a deeper meaning, a deeper purpose. For us who believe, we're blessed to know that there is a personal God who created us and has a plan for our lives.
God gives to each and every one of us a particular calling.
So for us, as Christians, we discern or reflectively, prayerfully come to understand what God's plan is for us. That's a vocation. Everyone has one. We're all in the world for a reason.
Discerning God's will isn't just for like nuns and priests. It's not something that the religious do. It's something that all of us do.
The foundational vocation is the vocation to married life.
And then some people are called to priesthood or to religious life, which is a very particular calling. When growing up, I wanted to be a baseball player, professional baseball player. And so I worked hard, I practiced all the time. As I got into high school, I realized that this probably was not going to happen. And soon after, I went to my first concert. I went to a Billy Joel concert. I had played the piano already, and I wanted to be the next Billy Joel. And I even studied it into college. And it was at that time where I first felt maybe he had other plans for me, plans that I did not envision. So even though I had different ideas of what I wanted to be when I grew up, I can honestly say that this experience exceeds any expectation that I would have had or any goal that I had for my own life. The privilege of being a priest really can't be put into words, and he's just blessed me abundantly in ways that I just could never have imagined. And so all men search for greatness. That's why we look at athletes, even some entertainers or people we kind of put on a pedestal as a symbol of, I want to do something great.
I never realized the greatness that God was calling me to until the day that I was ordained a priest. There's no greater thing happening in the entire world than what happens in the hands of a priest through the consecration of the Eucharist.
The priest is allowing God to work through him in miraculous ways, truly supernatural. You know, when a priest raises the host in the air, it's no longer him working, but it's Christ himself who's present in the church, offering his body and offering his blood for his people.
The priest has discovered that he is called by God to literally represent Jesus. For every person, it's different how God calls that person. But in every case, God is working in surprising ways.
Acceptance of the gift of the priesthood has brought me the greatest joy of my life.
So would it be fulfilling, saying yes to your vocation? I think it will be the most fulfilling thing.
Following God's will always lead you to happiness. Who knows best? It's God. So if you follow the will of God, you will find happiness.
When your will and God's will meet, that's when the amazing things will begin to happen.
If a young man is considering what is my purpose in life, what is God's call for me, and if he hears that maybe the answer is to consider being a priest, I would just tell him, don't be afraid, because God knows you more than anyone, and he would only call you to what would be most fruitful and most fulfilling in your own life.
You know, we got the video, which is 5 minutes long, you know. It was intentionally 5 minutes long, because if you think we do not have a second part of the homily, I am sharing to you now. So you standing up, joining me. At the age of 18, I asked that time, he was Father Cornelius Sim, that I wanted to become a priest. And Father Sim was telling me, okay, you can become a priest. We'll do the process on that. Then I told my father, my late father, then I told him, I want to become a priest. My father said, no way. Study first, find job, look for girl. Maybe you'll be happy. So I went to study as accountant, get my diploma in accountancy. After study for a few years, I come back. Then I told myself, I'm still not happy. There's something missing in my life. I went to work, look for money, moved from Syria and stay in Bandar. I spent 5 years working, looking for money, and I have a lot of job, and I was very happy. In fact, I stay on my own apartment. I buy my own car. I live a life of a guy who enjoys himself every day. Every weekend, I go for party, clubbing, enjoying myself. I'm still not happy. I say to myself, well, maybe if I have girlfriend, I'll be happy. I have a girlfriend for 5 years. I'm still not happy. Then, after that, at the age of 28, I meet, then again, he become Monsignor already. Monsignor Cornelius Sim. Then I asked him, I want to become a priest. He said, sell off everything. Come and join. I sell off everything. I did not tell my father. He thought I was on holiday. Until one day somebody talked to him and say, your son sell everything to become a priest. My father and my mother cry, angry. Why do you give up everything? We need all the money. But I tell to myself, I'm not happy. I'm happy making that choice. After that, I stayed with Bishop for 1 year in the church. And 1 year in the church, I was staying with him. I learned all the things. I only received allowance from Bishop at the time, $50 allowance every month. I feel happy. I drive KB Syria Bandar because he was the only one, two of them, he and Ivan, driving for him, Syria KB Bandar. Until year 2000, I left for Singapore to study. And my study was not easy because I am a hard man. I live a life enjoying all the time. A few times, I nearly got kicked out from the seminary. But the good Lord say, maybe give him time. Now, at the age of 36, I was ordained as a priest. And now, 13 years, I'm still a priest. And I'm still happy as a priest. I'm sharing you this story is because this. We are 4 priests in Brunei. 4 priests. 2 are sick. Father Paul is sick. 2 priests. You know, the greatest sin our church is this. The greatest sin of our Catholic Church in Brunei is the sin of complacency. We are very much complacent that we do not need priests. We don't care about priests. Priests are not important. But when priests die, you do not have sacrament. No sacrament when the priest die and the church die. All those young men who still thinking but never have the courage to make the decision because whatever you're scared of, I tell you and I challenge you, if you really want to know what is really important and deep in your heart, you answer yourself. You ask yourself, nobody you happy.
Getting married does not mean you'll be happy. I can tell you, if you do not answer the right vocation, you will be very sad forever, and you make other people sad. You want to please somebody, or maybe you want to please your parents or whoever, but I can tell you, you will always feel sad. Think about this seriously, especially those who here in Brunei. Think about it seriously. I'm the last at this moment of time. Another one, maybe a few more years to come. But behind me, there's nobody. And one day, when we do not have priests, nobody will do your marriage. Nobody will do your house blessing. Nobody will bless your simple thing, car. Nobody will break bread with you. You will not have any church, and we will not call ourselves Catholic anymore. Because to be Catholic, we have the Eucharist. Eucharist is the center of all of us here. Today, Vocation Sunday, we're praying for priests who are struggling. They are struggling. We also pray for priests who are sick, and some are dying. We pray for them.